Hello, 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 people. Welcome to Hello, hello, hello. Everybody, welcome to the show. This is the trip. I almost forgot what I was about to do here. But yes, this is the trip. Welcome to the trip. This is the what you call it? Monday show after busy week. Busy weekend, busy week. We're here. I think I got the link out to everybody, but I'm just gonna make sure they got the link. But I did something weird. I actually set the show up for yesterday. Didn't even notice. Set it up yesterday, and I set it up, and I forgot to check the time, and I must have set the time up around 4:45 Eastern time because that's what it was set up for. Luckily, it didn't start, and I changed it to today, and hopefully everything's good. I see people are here, so I think that plus that side is good. But let's see if these guys will join here. But anyway, if not, it'll just be me, and we'll chat. I'm not expecting anybody not to be here, so we shall see. Let me see and make sure I put this link in here, and then we'll go from there. Yep, that's the same link. So we're good. All right, everyone. So welcome to the show. First person to join us tonight, Big Gunner is in the house. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us, Big Gunner. And not only that, we've got Miss Melina in the house. Thanks for joining, Miss Melina. All right. You guys can check out Big Gunner or Miss Melina when they do their shows. But thank you for joining us. And before I go, I got somebody in the back room who probably wants to join. Do you want to join? He nodded his head. Should I let him in? You said no, Miss Melina? All right. We'll let him sit. Just kidding. Hello, 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 Tony. How you doing?
I'm doing so.
Okay. Now, that's better than not good. Okay? We'll take that.
Yeah.
That's how I'll go with. So is better than not good. And so Big's gonna saying hi. So one thing is for sure that we're not short on topics tonight. No, there's a lot we can talk about. I mean, we usually just talk about the game, but we probably could talk about lots of other things. And as Spencer says, move on to the next. And when he joins, I got a little surprise for him because we'll see if he likes it. But yeah, so we will go with that. So here we go. Now, since the last time we chatted and had a talk, Arsenal has played 2 matches, and we'll get into, I guess, both of them. We played Liverpool on the Thursday at home. Then we went to Portsmouth and played. So, yeah. So we had a busy week. We'll get into the Liverpool. I know Spencer probably doesn't even want to talk about it, but me and Tony can. So Tony, we played Liverpool. Everybody's expecting us to go out there and actually do, I think even I was expecting us to win the game for sure, and also to some degree, I guess, punish them. I mean, I didn't think no matter what lineup they put out there that we would not have an opportunity to get a win out of it. With a better side, we're coming in on the better form. Why shouldn't we win this game? We're sitting at the top of the table. Everybody else, I don't know if everybody had lost or drawn at that point. I think everybody had drawn at that point, right? Because everybody had played before.
Yeah.
So we knew what was in our hands. You win, you go up an extra 2 points at least. But
We just
Whatever we did, it wasn't good. Go ahead.
we just weren't up for it. Is the way I like to sum it up. I mean, that's something you should have been prepared for. Like you said, you have the draws in other games, so you could have went 8 points clear instead of 6 points clear.
Yeah. 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 No, yes. I mean, why couldn't we? Why should we should have? That game was a little disappointing. I know Liverpool went out there, and I know they are they're struggling, but they do have quality players on their squad. But we are the better squad, so I think Arteta got it wrong a little bit, and I think it's more of how he planned to play as opposed to who he had out there. Because I mean, that was our essentially our strongest lineup that he had out there. I mean, you got a front line of Trossard, Gyökeres, and Saka at this point. That's the best we're gonna do right now.
Yeah.
Like Erdegaard and Zubimendi, Gabriel Saliba, Timber, Hinkapia, Rhea. I mean, what more do you need to get the job done? They're missing 3 of their top attackers, and we didn't even touch. We didn't even, I mean, if I remember, the stats weren't that good for both teams, but we were the home side, so you expect us to play a lot better. Yeah, I think Arteta got it wrong, and it's more of how he had these guys prepared to play than anything. I mean, no matter what Liverpool put out there, we should have had an answer for. I mean, Liverpool actually came up with a good plan and put a lot of pressure on us, and we gave up the ball, and we lost the midfield. How can we lose the midfield with Zubimendi, Rice, and Erdegaard?
Wrong instructions. I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, there's something not right there. So we got they definitely beat us in the midfield, and we should have been able to punish them in other areas of the pitch. We didn't do either of that either. Um, I mean, only 9 shots off, 4 on target. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yeah. Yeah. So anything else on that game? Because I haven't even, I didn't sometimes I go back and look just to see what was there, but I don't think as you said we weren't prepared for that game.
Underwhelming, Gary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Underwhelming.
We didn't take advantage when they like anything else, we never take advantage when the team gives us a chance to counter and attack them. Um Gyökeres, of course, went another game without a shot. Um Everybody's complaining about him. And before we continue, we do have one last thing we want to do, and that is allow Spencer to join us. So, Spencer, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining the show. And
Yeah.
since Spencer likes to say, go on to the next one, I say, how about this?
Life is a journey. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the ride. There you go.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
You're good. You're good. I got to figure out what's going on here, but like Twitter on my computer, I got the message, but on my phone, I never got it. So I don't know if my phone's not, whatever. It doesn't matter. But happy to be here. On to the next one. On to Wednesday. Let's go.
No, we're finishing up on the Liverpool match, anyways. Yeah, just an ugly match, ugly play. I think the instruction was wrong. I don't know what you felt about that game, but I thought like
We already talked about it on Saturday.
Yeah. We did, but Tony
Yes.
didn't. So that's
Go ahead, Tony. It's your floor. I've already moved on for.
He's actually moved on. He's ready for Chelsea, but
I'm done being.
All right.
That
So
was underwhelming.
No, we got a draw. It kind of sucked. We should have got more, but we move on to the next one, right? So next game on the weekend, Sunday morning. It was actually a busy day. I actually did a second road trip just because Leeds were playing and Arsenal were playing, so I just kind of did a watch along for both games. Leeds won 3-1, and then it was Arsenal's turn. Arsenal, yipes! What a way to start. Another strong lineup, though. I think it's the same lineup we had in the other game, right? Yep, yep. Oh no, actually, no. We're playing Portsmouth. We switched things up. I think we switched out 11 players. The only player that did stay is Gabriel, which I thought was going to happen. I think everybody thought that was going to happen. We couldn't let we don't have enough players. Sleeper or Gabriel, one of them would have to play. So that's what happened. Portsmouth, we should be able to get by them easy. But first 3 minutes, not so fast, right? Not so fast. We make a mistake and it just collapses the defense and they get a goal. But we do all right after that. Tony, happy with the lineup for that game?
Yeah, that's pretty close to what you should be doing in this early stages of the FA Cup.
Mm-hmm.
We still had plenty of bodies on the bench that we went to.
Yeah.
Some of those I probably wouldn't have brought with me, but we did. So,
like, who wouldn't you have brought?
Probably Saka and Rice, probably.
But who are you gonna put in their place?
I don't know. That's somebody.
Like, I mean, who? Like, I mean, Dowman is not available, and that's the only attacker I know of outside of, I don't think did we have players that did not even, I think that is the best we're gonna do, right? I mean, we've got 4 players out already, so the only player that didn't dress for that game, I don't know who didn't dress for that game. I mean, I don't know. Dalman is he's injured as well. I don't know who else would have missed that game. Oh,
Calafiore.
Calafiore,
He's been out.
Hincapia, Mascara, all injured. Dalman is injured.
Yeah.
I don't know who else would have. I don't know who else would have not. Who else could have come that wasn't available to us, right? I mean, that's everybody. I think everybody that would have played for us was there. So I don't think there's anybody else anything else we could have done in terms of bringing somebody else on, because yeah. But anyways, that turnover really bad. We didn't even score the first 2 goals of the game. Portsmouth did. So
Appreciate their second goal though.
The second goal was really nice. It looked like it was
world class.
Who was taking it? I think it was Norgard thought he did it, but he got there late. Ball was in before he had a chance to touch it, so he didn't get it. He didn't get his goal.
OG's trying to be our leading scorer for the season.
OG, if OG wants to keep scoring, the trick, you create your own luck, right? Create your own luck. Put the ball into the box. Worst case scenario, somebody else scores for you.
That's where your whole philosophy of just shoot comes from. You get those rebounds, you get those weird kicks off opposition, and it goes in a goal. Or you get the rebound, you make it. Or you get 2 rebounds and make it like last week. I mean,
yep, you can't score if you don't shoot. There's no way to do it. No way to do it. Nobody's dribbling the ball into their own goal for you, so you have to shoot. Right. We've got Dr. Seymour Butts in the house. Thanks for joining. Says greetings, Tony. Gary, Tony, Spencer, BX, Miss Melina. Yes, thank you. So yeah, no, that set piece. I mean, the ball is set up perfectly for it to go in. So could have gone in all by itself, maybe. Definitely with a little bit of help, it went in. So we're taking that. I thought Norgard got to it though, but it was deemed not. then after that, I believe Martinelli and Madueke, I think, had opportunities to score for Arsenal, if I recall. At least Martin had one. I know Madueke had one. But they weren't clinical. One from the spot and another
Didn't
from.
finish their dinner, Gary.
Then what?
Didn't finish their dinner.
Did not finish their dinner. And that's terrible. We should be able to do that. We should be able to do that. Poor finishing from, Martinelli and Madueke. I'm not sure who else may have scored for us, but those two players definitely had some of the best opportunities to score in the game. At that point, early in the game, before goal scoring happened, Martinelli, I think it was a really nice pass from, I forget who, but put him on goal, and all they had to do is just put it on target, and he couldn't. But he did wait. Did score a goal, put us up 2-1. I believe his first two goals, if I recall, were on set pieces, headers. Very nicely done. So much for Gabriel being the guy. Martinelli was the guy today. I guess when you put too much attention maybe on Gabriel, you leave somebody else open. So we'll take that. Any thoughts on Portsmouth scoring the first goal in the first few minutes, panel? We were poor. Madueke loses the ball too easy up the side and basically defense never caught up. And even though Correa does get a hand on the ball, he hits it. He saves it back into the path of Bishop. I remember that name because Bishop actually looked pretty good in the game for them until we started scoring and it was over. But it was a nice strike from him. No way Reyes getting to that ball. But yeah, no, that was terrible by Madueke, and that kind of steamrolled, and everybody else was just scrambling by the time you look up the balls in the net. So
yeah, I missed it. I didn't even turn the game on until it was like 6 minutes.
Yeah, it was.
Couldn't even tell you.
It was, it's similar to what Gabriel did, man. Just a poor control of the ball, and the other team gets it, and goalkeeper. I don't think Ray did a good job to make the first save, but the defense was already at that point, scrambling, and thus man left on mark. So yeah, poor by us. Arsenal has to do, I guess, better attention to the little details, like possessing the ball, making clean passes. And
we're kind of sleepwalk there, Gary.
Look like it, yeah. Definitely looked like that there, but yeah, no. Yeah, like I said, started with Madueke with a little poor handling of the ball. That's the difference between him and Saka. Saka barely ever makes that mistake. Or I don't think Saka makes that mistake. He barely ever gets the ball taken off of him. Not sure I can remember the last time he has. It's rare that it happens. So, yeah, the Jesus pass was really nice for the later goals, but we'll get into that. But yeah. Martinelli, I think his first two goals were headers, if I recall, right?
Yeah.
Off of corners, very nice headers, glancing off his head. No way the goalkeeper's going to get to it. They didn't. They didn't even guard him. He had some free headers and he put him on target, and those are the reasons why I think he should get an opportunity to play as the 9. We talk about it all the time, right? Who's our best header at the 9? And Kai Havertz is, but he's not been available. Martinelli has been available, and maybe why shouldn't he get a chance? Yeah,
because he doesn't score in the league, Gary.
Maybe he's playing out of position in the league. Maybe he's playing out of the position in the league. Maybe he should be playing as a center forward in the league. I mean, why not? He's going to make the runs. He's going to come back and support all those types of things that Arteta wants. And we get into why that matters as well. But no, it was a. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Sounds like you guys want to move on.
Just listen to you speak.
I don't want to have to talk. I can talk the whole way, you know that. But
No, I know that, but I mean, this is. I mean, I give you my thoughts. I mean, if you want to hear them.
of course. I want you to chime in. I would talk the whole show if you don't. But
I'm exhausted today. I'm not gonna lie. Tired just in general, so I'm a little bit kind of like just slow in general today. Well, I gave all Manfred at work today. Great shift. Anyway, great performance, shall we say? Good, decent results. I'm just kidding. So I was a little perturbed when I saw it was 1-0. I had to go back on Twitter to see how the goal happened. I saw it and I was like, okay. And got the first goal, got the second goal. Was feeling pretty confident after that. I was just kind of happy to see the rotation. Just happy to see other people get some time out there. Knew it was going to be a little rusty. Knew it wasn't going to be perfect. Got to see Anwary get some minutes. He looked good today. Or yesterday, excuse me. A little bit of communication aspects, I think, with Kepa and Gabriel, which kind of I noticed a little early. Just lack of familiarity. It felt like our lack of comfortability Kepa had on the ball. You know how like in Rye gets put some of those sketchy situations that I don't like, you know. I don't think Kepa is a massive fan of some of those moments. Most goalkeepers probably aren't. Unless you're really like most kids you put in goal because they're not really good on the ball. Hence why I played goal. So when you put them as those in the moment, sometimes they're not built for that. Some guys are straight shot stoppers. Some guys are ball playing sweeper keepers that can't stop whatever. But I noticed that a little bit of lack of comfortability there. No guard playing in the center back position a little bit again. I noticed that. I was happy with the rotation. I don't think you could have got any better than that. You're on to the next round of the FA Cup, which is something you failed to do the last 3 or 4 years, which I think that was to me like that was the goal, regardless of how great the game turned out. Just punch your ticket to the next round, get to the round 4. There's 16 teams left. There's in America we call it Sweet 16, but it's not obviously not called that. So now you've got 4 more games, and you got a favorable draw in the next game. But either way, those were my thoughts. Just little things I noticed. I thought Moreno was good. I know you didn't agree with me on that when I chimed in the chat.
You know what? Okay, go ahead.
I just noticed him getting in there, getting some good tackles in, and I think that's where I noticed his willingness to take people on. I feel like sometimes, when it's not our normal Rice or Zubamendi out there, sometimes that position can kind of get people aren't willing to take those challenges. Sometimes that's my point.
Yeah.
So watching him willing to step up and get in there and help the team out. That's my thoughts in the first half. I mean, the Madueke miss on the penalty. I mean, I felt bad for him. I really did.
You know what? It's one of those things. You think long, you think wrong. You think long, you think wrong. Basically, if he just strikes it, he's fine. But he does that little hop skip thing and basically sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. But you have to get it in close to the inside of the post. It wasn't even close. It was.
Yeah, I felt bad for him. I was really
himself when he did that. That's what he did.
Because the first thing I could think about was all our the online fans of Arsenal fans are like just digging him out, and I thought he was really good on the ball. I thought that moment potentially could have overshadowed what I thought he was decent in the game. As far as his distribution, he was given the fullback on that side fits. But needless to say, it didn't cost us, which is good. But I'm sure that Arteta saw that and was like, all right, well, that might, he may not be in our top 10 penalty takers at this point. Maybe you have to get yourself back in the graces. I mean, they all take bad penalties. It happens. We see them. I think FA Cup, there was a couple I think we saw. Was it who had the shootout? It wasn't the Rex. Maybe it was Wrexham.
Yeah, the Wrexham went to.
There was another shootout. Oh, we watched the Newcastle one.
Okay, that's right.
saw
That one went to like 10, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, and as bad as Madueke's penalty was, some of those other ones are pretty poor too.
Yeah.
Especially when you're putting it right to the keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's my thoughts on it. The first half. What was it? 2-1 at halftime.
Yep.
Yeah. That's really those are my thoughts.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, some of the stuff that you said, I'll get into that. Eze and Madueke, it was good to see them together. I kind of felt like Ethan was great. It was good in the game. The times that he was on the ball. Eze didn't really give me anything that I remember. I don't remember anything that he did, and that's another reason why. For Moreno, same thing. I don't remember what he did, but I always used to say this. Partey would be playing in that similar position. Didn't really notice him until I needed to, and really didn't have to notice him. That's probably because he was doing a really good job and keeping things clean in the midfield, right? I mean, we really didn't have much of a problem in the game, right?
Yeah.
And it's usually and for us, that definitely means the midfield is controlling things. And that starts with our number 6, right? So that would have been Moreno. So yeah, a lot of people said he had a good game, and I know it's Portsmouth, so I'm gonna give him. He did what he needed to do in this game. He kept things quiet in terms of like there was they didn't really threaten us much at all, right?
Not after that initial.
But that mistake had nothing to do with him. He's no way he's gonna tell because that ball was given up on the touch line by Madueke going backwards to his goal. I mean that I don't think any the midfield had anything to do with that. So that wouldn't have been a Moreno issue. The thing that needed
it wasn't their fault. They shit the bed.
Yeah. No, Moreno. As I said, like I do complain about him. I don't know if he does that. How he does. Can he do that against Chelsea? I don't think so. Right. That's why he won't start against Chelsea. But in this game, perfect situation. He did everything he needed to do. It was quiet, clean, and we controlled the game. And the Liverpool game showed us what happens when we don't manage the midfield. Right. When we can't control the midfield, that's how it looks. But this game, we pretty much controlled it. We got everything we needed. Could have easily scored 7 goals. Maybe more if you made proper pass. We had those scenarios where passes just killed attacks before they even had a chance.
Yeah, well,
but that happens.
The commentary was killing our forwards in general, and I'm talking just Arsenal forwards in general. I can't remember the female commentator, but it was pretty poor, her analysis of just our team in general. Yorkers hasn't been good at all, and I'm like, well, that's not true. Has he been poor? Yeah. No. Was he been average? Yes. Yeah. But like, there's just certain analysis. Well, it's not that; it's a perception that other people that don't watch us regularly what they see, right? Yeah. But yeah, I think if you don't notice somebody, I think that's sometimes a good thing too. Especially in those positions.
The midfield, it is, especially when
but up on a forward line, if I don't notice you, that's not good.
No, because there would be many a time where I don't even remember like Partey on the pitch, but I do remember nothing happening. The defense was clean. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you look at did our defense have to get on the ground or anything? No. Game was controlled from the midfield. Defense has got it got it easy. Yeah. Really didn't face much after that one mistake. You know what I mean? It felt like that anyways to me. So, but in general, the midfield had it under control, and if they didn't, of course, we have a great back line, so it never really, came to much. So yeah, like I said, I go. A lot of people said Moreno would have been their man of the match if it wasn't for Martinelli's hat trick. Like I said, and where he on the ball looked really good to me. He's comfortable on the ball with people coming at him in tight spaces. He can get away. Eze, I think, should have had a much better game than he did. Didn't seem like it. I don't know what's going on there, if he's still figuring things out still. But I would have thought he would have had a better game, maybe, create more and score. Just think that didn't seem like it.
I mean, well, yeah, I don't know. Well, again, like, what's the expectation versus the reality with him, right?
He's
Because
supposed to be a moments player, right? So
I think he's more than that. I think he's again. I think left wing works for him. Or I'd like to see more of it worked. I know people don't agree with me on that. I still think he gives us value in the midfield. I wonder what when we start. Has he been more disappointing than Yorkerez? But again, even having this,
we don't draw against City without him.
Well, you're right.
We don't see a hat trick in a London.
Even bringing that up, Gary, is to me is I just brought it up, right? I'm the guy that brought up the comparison. Why are we doing this? Like,
well, no, because we're trying to see where they stand. Like, we know that Yorkerez has a lot to I think he's still got a lot. There's a lot he can do for us. I think Eze has shown kind of what he can do. Things that our team hasn't even done. It's been a while since we had a hat trick in the squad, and we see
Eze played 15 minutes against Liverpool, and then played what was it? Did he play 70 against Portsmouth? That's not enough time to expect anything in my mind.
No, that's Arteta manages minutes, supposedly managing his minutes.
Which again, I said this to my United buddy today. As we talked about Eze, and I was like, I kind of like to see him play a little bit more, but I understand if Arteta's holding him off until like February, April, that big run-in, and we're going to really need people to put in some shifts, right? Are you really like? And I'm also like these comparisons, and I think I want to go back to my point. Like, we're having these comparisons about whether Eze isn't good enough or Yorker's. I'm guilty of it, so I'm calling myself out here. But it feels really it's a dull conversation because I don't think Eze was poor on Sunday. And it's not saying that you said that, but I feel like the discourse online is just this constant like, well, Eze cost $90-some million. So if he's not banging in 2 goals a game, he's a failure. And I don't think that's fair to him. I don't think that's fair to the club. And I don't think it's proper discourse. Maybe I'm in a rant that I've been wanting to get off my chest for a couple of minutes, and I think maybe it's just
everybody that's a Spencer rant right there.
Yeah, I like give it, dude. Like I could understand the Yorkerez and Eze like anger if we dropped out on Sunday, if we lost to Portsmouth, if we had lost to Liverpool, but it's like I see, man. I'll tell you what, if you're sitting here in May. I know people have their doubts. And the trophies being lifted, whether it's the Champions League or the league, I ain't going to care how many goals Eze had because he contributed somewhere across the line. And you've already brought up good points. He contributed to the Man City game. We don't get the draw without one. He gets the hat trick in the North London Derby. That's 6 points 4 points right there. Right? So he had a good like I said, I wasn't disappointed with Eze on Saturday. Am I hoping for a little bit more? Yes, but that's because I think there's such a ceiling there.
Yep. I ask you. Go ahead, Tony.
I think you can say that for all the attackers. I mean, Saka should have more goals. You just can't. You get these new shiny toys, and you look at what they cost. Then you make a big fuss about it, especially Gyökeres. I think it's ridiculous how much hatred he's been getting from the fans. It's like he's doing fine.
I mean, fans legitimately act like Gary Tony. They act like they legitimately like Dan Kroenke said, "Look, man, got to buy this guy. I know you don't have it, but I need you to sign the $70-some million check." It's almost like I got asked to sign it, right? Like I didn't ask to sign it. I'm not paying his bills.
Yeah, no.
It's funny. I hate to go away from the Portsmouth game, but we were talking about the impacts, and I was thinking about this. Like, just because I don't see you do an impact doesn't mean you didn't have an impact in the game. Because I think if you go back and rewatch it, Gary, and you're like, okay, I'm going to watch Eze the whole game, then you might see good things. You might see bad things too. So I think
well,
we all watched
the
the
fact
game.
that like I said, the game went in our favor, and that's it's a team sport. So,
Yeah,
like you said, there's people behind the scenes doing things you don't even notice because everything's going so well. You don't notice maybe they put pressure on them. Next thing you know, the ball's coming right back to us, kind of thing. You don't see that because the screen is cut off. So there's a lot of things you don't see. But no, I think speaks again. I just go through some of these quotes, and we'll talk about those along as we'll continue on with some of our chat. Yeah, Ezra can't be the 10. Let him be a second striker up top. If he can't be a 10, I think he can. I think he's just coming back from sitting out 3 or 4 games, so he's been out for a couple weeks. I mean, I think Arteta needs to find a happy balance of these players. If he thinks they're running red, then he probably needs to not start them so many games in a row. You know what I mean? If he sees that, because I understand managing his minutes, but I think there are probably many a game we could have used him in when he was sitting out, getting rest, and games where he probably played where he probably didn't need to, or could have at least come off. So he's got to manage the minutes still better. I mean, there's still room for improvement, but otherwise, I think if that's the case, and that's why he did that, then I will I'll go with it for now because he's getting better at managing the minutes. So as in he's the freedom and confidence of the manager. Yeah, I say that about Arteta all the time. Confidence and trust in the things that Arteta shows you, and if you don't have it, you don't play. So
to an extent, it makes sense though, right? I have to earn your trust.
Yeah, but sometimes he doesn't even give. He doesn't seem to give them the chance to. Like, if they come in and make one mistake, like Eza makes a mistake in Villa, and some people, it seems like he's out. Right.
Considering how high tempo and high expectation this game is, I can understand it to an extent. Whereas, like in the NFL, if we blow a game, I'm 16-1. If you blow a game here to the wrong opponent, that 3 points you may never get back.
No, but
especially
and
in the league.
That's the risk averse type thing that he has, but that's also the reason why the team can't overcome when they're getting seriously challenged, and they won't go for the win. They'll make sure they don't lose, and it's like I think you can do that. I think you have to be going for the win sometimes. There's some games where I feel like we're hanging on by a thread and we're not trying to punish the other sides, and we punish ourselves because we get complacent, and then we.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Sunday was one of those games.
No, but I'm just saying that's why.
I feel now that Wigan is your next opponent, League One.
We'll rotate again there as well.
Yeah. I mean, the good news for that is that's another game where you can trust it and where you can trust.
Well, you know what? You're saying that like Wigan is their level, and that's not true at all.
No, I don't think it's his level, but I think it's one of those like you can edge that one in. Is that he's a starter, Skelly's a starter. You could see the similar lineup you saw. Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not getting that FA Cup third round against Man United. Is my point.
Yep.
You got yourself a little bit of a gift from the lottery, if that's the best way to say it.
Yeah.
No, you should smash Wigan.
Just as you speak, like the shot from Martinelli, which he should have scored. He hooked it. He tried to hook it around the goalkeeper. It went really wide, and I know he can do better with that shot.
Yeah.
So that was in the 32nd minute. So yeah, but like I said, yeah, I don't know where I was going to go with this.
Well, no, I think your point being is that the rotation there needs to be a little bit more. But again, the thing I like about Sunday, you did the rotation, you had adversity, right? You dropped down a goal, and those players that you gave the rotation were able to dig themselves out of that hole. That's the good story.
And that shows the confidence and trust.
Well, it shows confidence, it shows trust, it shows that they are up for it. That was their opportunity to start, and they're not gonna screw it up so much.
Yep.
So it's kind of good you didn't just go out there and punch them up like Exeter City 10-1. You had a little bit of adversity, you had to work through it.
But you know what? You need to be able to do that, and we could have done that in that game as well. So
Well,
that's
you
the
should
thing.
be getting that.
As much as you
performance-
say we don't want to be doing that, I'm like, no, we should be able to. This team should be in a situation that they can win games and run away with it, right?
Yes,
If you
your
can
starting
beat- if you
11
can beat-
absolutely should do
If you
that.
can beat Bayern 4-1,
Mhm.
you can beat that
Atletico
team
4-1.
4-1,
4-0 actually.
4-0, and if you can
Yeah.
beat Bayern 4-1, you can beat pretty much any team 5-6, 7-0 easy. So it is in us. So it is, I think just maybe the way we're coached, the way we're set up, or whatever it is, because we have it in it. Like, there's no way anybody can tell me you can win those games by 3+
Not
goals.
not
And then
enough.
you're going to
Not
struggle against
enough
Wolves.
tempo.
You're going to struggle against,
Mhm.
you're going to start out really slow against, Portsmouth. Go ahead, Tony. Sorry.
Not enough tempo and pace to get those 9-10 goals like
Yeah.
we should be able to get. We got the players that can do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of where Eze and Bucharest is for this by the tempo.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It also shows the Bayerns and the Atleticos. They don't respect you. That they're willing to go toe to toe with you, and the minute you punish them so hard that not PG, but you punish them hard enough that you slap them up. Whereas the Wolves and the Forest and all these other ones that are scared of you, they know what our weakness is, and that's breaking down the low block. So something to work on. But
I mean, we've been trying to work on this for 3 years now.
well, yeah, I keep pushing through, man. Eventually that wall
Well, that's what I'm
break
saying.
down.
Like, and that for me is coaching now. It's not
Right.
anything to do.
not
Like,
even
you
the
can't tell
players
me.
do.
You can't tell me it's been 3 years. We haven't figured out a way to break down. We haven't brought in a player that can help us do it. All those types of things. Go ahead.
We went the other way, Gary. We're getting a throw in, coach. Come on.
Oh yes, yeah. So this actually was a comment on here from
Yeah.
Seymour Butts. Also interested on thoughts about hiring another set piece type coach when we already have that squared down, but aren't seeking outside help
No.
that can teach how to cross, make a through pass, or finish. Well, the fact that Rice, Saka are some of probably the best crosses in the game. I don't know if if what you're saying is true. We do have good, players that actually can demonstrate that because they're doing it, right?
But the problem is, as you always said, Gary, there's nobody there.
No. I'm not saying what you're talking about something else. We're talking about can they actually cross? And yes, they can. If they can put a ball on a tee off of a set piece, then yes, it's a matter of it could be it was a pass off, the cross off, was the player not running to the right spot, right? A lot of times players are all running to the near post, all to the far post, the ball's going to the near post. We should have all areas covered on a cross, right? But we don't. Somebody's late, somebody's not even there, those types of things. So, but yeah, no, the set piece coach, which is the throwing coach for me, is actually a good thing because we are terrible at throwing in the ball, and so Jova might be our set piece coach for crosses and stuff like that, but not for throw-ins. So I hear what you're saying, Seymour, but I think we actually need to be better at that. I mean, we gave up
double,
goals to Crystal
getting
Palace
double
because of a
yellows
throw-in.
on bad throw-ins.
We lost Spencer. Hopefully, he said one of the dogs was running around, so maybe that happened this time. But no, I think Arteta's looking at things that little things that nobody thinks about. Next thing you know, everybody's doing it, right? Everybody's doing it. Everybody talks about set piece FC. Now we're not even a top. I think we weren't even a top set piece team at one point this season. So that's not how we score all of our goals, right? So I think he's looking for the little margins, right? I mean, there's definitely bigger margins we could fix, but he's looking at probably the ones he think we could fix easily. I think we, like you said, I think we should be improving our crosses from other players, but we do have some of the best on our team, right?
Yeah.
The through passes, I think, I mean, they keep the stats keep saying they're there, right? And I know, Gabrielle was able to make those passes, and I'm looking at a pass right now that was from
I know it had to be about
Eze, I think,
probably.
right? So that we do have players that can do it. I'm seeing a pass right now. Like I said, it was from Eze, and so we do have players that can do it. I mean, I just watched it just now. Yeah, it's a
I know
nice
about.
splitting pass there, and it's actually maybe from Nweri, but we have players that can do it. So I think there are players there. We might not see them enough, and that's the problem. I don't think we see some of these players enough that can do some of these things. We know Eze can put in a cross because he put in a cross to Gyökeres, right? Right? I mean, it was his first goal, I think, or his first like true goal, or his only true goal anybody could talk about is the cross for the Leeds game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we do have players, and I think hopefully Arteta, if he's saving him for the second half of the season, cool. But I don't understand why. So yeah,
There's something weird going on with that because, like I've told you, because you said he played in these like basically, but what was it? The Super Cup. I can't remember what games you mentioned he was
for
playing in, but he said he wasn't up to fitness, and you're like you were playing games, so you had to be, but he kept saying that he needed more fitness, and it's just like,
well,
but
maybe you know what?
by now it should be there.
No, but you know what the thing is? I think it's like anything else. You know how it is. If you don't get I mean, you're talking about Eza,
Yeah, I'm talking
yeah,
about
and Eza, and you know what? And the other part, like now that I'm just thinking of it now, but you know how it is. Like the way we play football isn't the same as our other teams, right? The amount of effort that you need to put on your stress you put on your body is a lot higher for Arsenal than for other teams, right? Arteta's never telling Saka or Gyökeres or Martinelli, you know what? Don't come back and support your team defensively. He's not saying, to stay up there and we'll get the ball to you. He's requiring them to come back and support. Right? We do a lot of running our team. So there's that part of fitness is probably one reason why players might take a bit of time also to get ramped up.
and might also be why we have all the muscle injuries, Gary.
Very true. That's why you need to have a big squad and not a small one. Yeah. So Spencer is back. So let me go through this chat because I've been keeping you. Not been saying much about.
Hi, Spencer.
Yeah.
Just sit there and be quiet.
Yeah, we're in the round of 32. That is true. We're in the round of 32. We'll be playing Wigan at home, so we should be able to. Yeah, I think it's 32. I think there's 16 games though, but so I think the quarterfinals are next, and that's 18.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah. So that I went over this. That's why I know. yeah. That Madueke pen was terrible. I was a little bit surprised that Moreno was the captain and not Gabriel. I don't know. Arteta maybe thought because it's a EFL.
Weird choice.
You know what? He probably maybe initially wasn't planning on using Gabriel, and that's why he just said, Moreno, you're the captain. And then when he switched maybe his mind, it was, he just said, Moreno, you got it. So, but yeah, I mean, because I think Gabriel usually would have been our captain in this situation. He usually is when Erdegaard and Rice aren't on the pitch. So maybe this was one of those. It's an EFL Cup, early rounds. We'll give it to somebody else for a change. So, but yeah. We're seeing exciting players look overwhelming, and it's no coincidence. Yeah, I don't even think Arteta. If that, Arteta's into this exciting player thing. Like, what is that in our style of football, right? You don't have a Yamal going around stepping over the ball and stuff. We don't do that kind of stuff in our team at all, right? So Madwake, Mbappe kind of stuff that he does, Vinny
Side
Jr.
pass, back pass, side pass.
We do a little bit of
pass.
back pass. We do a little bit of a nice touch pass, right? Because Kai Havertz does that, and we enjoy it. But it's not. I don't think that's the way we set up to play. Great point. Gabby should have been captain. However, it means nothing if the manager has favorites. Yeah, I think he likes. I think he likes Mike Gabrielle. I think he does. We should win by 5 goals against Wigan. Yeah, we are definitely a team that is the under, no matter what. I think my Florida Gators, my football team from college, you bet the under, you won every game. We always won the game, but we never covered. We win a national championship that year. So, take your pick. We might not hit the numbers, but we definitely get the win at the end of the day, and that's what we're doing. Got Brenny in the house. Thanks for joining us, Brenny. Yeah. Her face is on the side of the Emirates as part of the winning women's what? What did I miss? I missed something there. Oh, you're talking about I don't know who that is. You think getting a long throw in coach is more important than getting no, I don't think it's more important. I just think Arteta's looking at the small margins. Things that other people don't do, but then they miss out on it, right? Nobody thought about set pieces as much as we did. Next thing you know, everybody's complaining that that's all we can score. And then next thing you know, everybody's working on theirs. So maybe he's trying to get ahead of the curve. But I do agree with you in terms of we need to be better. All the other things you mentioned, like crossing and through passes and stuff like that. But I think those also go against the grain of Arteta's risk-averse approach to football. I'd rather get a 90% pass to an easy, a less risky one than an 80% pass to one that might be intercepted. So, Red Hornet Gamer in the house. Thanks for joining us. Well, you guys are getting a little sad now. Only this manager can ruin our expectations from 2 new star signings. Finally, some specialists, and he still favors the
It's technically my fault. It's absolutely my fault. All it takes is like one comment from one of us or someone in the chat, and then everybody just goes into the toilet of negativity.
Yeah,
that's my fault tonight, though.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're talking about Ezra and
what about the second half of Portsmouth?
Yeah, we'll get to that. Let me go through the rest of the chat. And he's killing your joy. He's not killing your joy. He also won 4-1, and they could have done
killed
more.
his joy. It was my fault.
Yeah.
Not Arteta. I did it.
Why your comments are disappearing? Are they disappearing? I didn't see. I don't think so. Being Gunner, you have tons of messages here, so I don't think so. I'm looking in the chat here. I don't see them disappearing. I don't see them even being deleted, so I don't think that might be, maybe that's happening from YouTube, but that's not something anybody's doing. So I don't know what comments are missing. Oh, sorry. Next comment. It's not. It's not you. It's me, kind of thing. All right. We've seen Sakadu one step over to the new. You're right about that. He doesn't have our. You know what? If you guys remember, the best defense against Michael Jordan was who? His college coach. That's the only person that could control Michael Jordan. So there you go. Arteta's trying to follow in the lines of Dean Smith. You know what I mean? So only guy to control Michael Jordan's off attack. So there you go. Maybe so hopefully Arteta will release in the reins. See how these guys do. So yeah. Oh, sorry about that.
I don't think you're gonna see it, Gary.
You what?
So I don't think we're gonna see it. People keep asking for it.
He might have to. He might be down 2 goals in a situation. He's gonna have to, like we were down 1-0 to Newcastle. He had to release the hounds, right? So he has done it, but he needs to be forced. At some point, he's just gonna do it to give us the space. right? At some point, he's going to have to do it to give us the ability to like at least see the game out. But, he hasn't learned that part of the game, I guess. So, has that chapter he was out at a pep school of footballing. Soft like Sago putting toothless. Got Boy Tendio in the house. Thanks for joining us, Boy Tendio. Toothless Stereoptics can chew on this fan base. Oh boy. That's right. It's a conversation that's been had on all spaces. Yeah, it is. It is.
Did the X finally stop deleting
Oh, sorry.
his
That
own
prior
posts?
comment was regards to Leanne Sanderson, the commentator of the Portsmouth game that had been slagged off. She's from the Arsenal Youth Academy and a Clo legend. Yeah, no, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't hear. You know what? I didn't.
No, it was
see any
me.
of that
I
stuff.
said it. I said I didn't like hearing her commentary because she was.
I
being
don't like.
negative about
I
Arsenal.
don't like. I don't like what's his name's commentary, and he's an Arsenal legend.
Lee
I mean,
Dixon.
just because you're an Arsenal legend
Lee
doesn't mean you're
Dixon.
immune from any
Lee Dixon,
criticism.
I hate Lee Dixon.
Sorry.
I don't hate listening to him when he's doing a football match, especially when it's Arsenal. So,
Lee Dixon.
call
Call
me whatever you want, but you would think he'd never played for us the way he's talking. You're like, are you kidding me, dude?
It'll be a cold day in hell before I recant what I just said right there. So, Lee Dixon's negative. I'm sorry, you're gonna get me on that one too.
No, I hear him all the time. So like when he's on, you can tell by my face when I do a watch.
Oh, I know. Lee Dixon tries extra hard to show that he's impartial against Arsenal. I'm sorry, but I'm not apologizing for that.
So no, I hear you see more butts, but if somebody doesn't like it, they don't like it. Doesn't
well,
like it isn't because she's from Arsenal. We don't have to like you don't even like people from Arsenal. See more butts, right?
Yeah.
You don't like some of your players. You don't like your manager.
Yeah, so and we're not like telling you to apologize for that.
So I think it's all right. It's okay.
Yeah, we'll be all right. We'll be fine.
Her face is on the side of the stadium. She definitely. Yep, she was. But yeah, no, sometimes commentary isn't. Yeah, no choking has it. All right.
That's where Gary was trying to figure out that comment earlier on.
Yeah, no, I didn't. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Well, I didn't know. Yeah. The thing is, if I didn't see it as a when it came up, then I miss it. And when I'm not scrolling down,
well, something I said, whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I gotta say.
Sin as a player is what we want White to be. Yeah. No, you know what? But that type of football is not here anyway. So I get looking to the past and saying you want those type of players and stuff like that, but the football is not the same anyway. So what is a Dixon then is not a Dixon now. It's more.
Do you know something? I'm going to go to the second half of this game, right? And I know the chat and everything.
Yeah.
But Ben White, how critical and how special he is on corners, the shithousery.
Yeah.
The little extra things he does, we do miss that on corners at times.
And I don't think he's been doing it lately.
He was doing it on Saturday or Sunday.
I wasn't watching.
Yeah, he was pulling people's shirts a little bit, tugging at them.
It's funny you say that because I think on this replay of one of the corners, it might be Norgard actually doing a lot of the tugging. It is Norgard doing a lot of the tugging. Yeah. But yeah,
it's amazing. You know something else, and I'll give the commentary credit. Here we go. I'm gonna give her credit for this. Talking about the VAR and how it's not existent in the FA Cup, and they're able to play a little bit more freely because they know they'll get away with some of the extra stuff. So there you go. I gave her a compliment.
Yeah. No, you know what you're listening for, and you know what it sounds like when it's good. So I will. I didn't even.
We legitimately got called out for whatever.
You did, okay. You did. But I hate Lee Dixon as a commentator. So I said it.
Graham Lasso's pretty bad
maybe
too.
I'll never get a chance to meet him or something because I don't like his
commentary. Graham Lasso's pretty bad too. Like he's pretty anti-Arsenal, which I don't need you to call my game to be pro-Arsenal, but when I can tell that you're being extra critical, like there was a couple times where Graham Lasso, I've had to put the game on mute because he's just so complaining. It's like I think we're fortunate over here though, Gary and Tony. Yeah. We don't have to listen to like the Gary Nevilles of the world and stuff like that. We do have some pretty good commentators.
Yeah,
but
see, this is where you went, Seymour. Just because we said we didn't like it doesn't mean it had.
Oh. But I mean, like,
doesn't provide bias.
To be fair,
we want want him to be partial. He's supposed to be impartial to everything, right? He's supposed to be able to say what's going on in the game. But as soon as it's
but I
something
think
Arsenal has done, it sounds like we just slap somebody's mom in the face. You know
The
what I mean? That's what it
legitimate
sounds like.
and the
As
because I
opposed to-
know
that's why I kind of feel like that sometimes.
no, I got you. I ain't mad about it. But my point being is like
Yeah.
Gary didn't listen to the game because he was doing his stream, and Sam and Tony. I don't know, Tony, if you actually got a chance to listen to it. But the Ford stuff was not brought up just once. It was brought up multiple times, and it was like, okay, I get it. Gorkarez, I get it. Jesus, I get it. And it's just like, all right, there's got to be something else we can talk about here, you know? Whatever.
Yeah.
I respect her as a I think I said I don't watch women's football, so it is what it is. But I respect it, but I can't, man.
For hell or high water, we're a defensive team, and that's what you have to live with.
Sorry.
Yeah, listen to a dog. He knows.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going with that, Seymour Butts, but we're just having a chat here. It's not.
But
Let's not take it too personal, okay?
I actually like Lee Dixon. I think for a long time he was super critical of his defense when he should have been, because our defense was terrible when we had the likes of Mustafi and some of those other things, and just the way they were out of position and this and that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the things he said legitimate, and you're probably going to be more critical of somebody you're used to winning trophies. Yeah, you haven't won one in over 20 years now, so you want your team winning, and they weren't doing enough. Now we have players, and it's just, if we can get across the line, and some of that to be making more goals and shooting more shots.
For sure.
Well, other one, 9 shots against Liverpool, 4 on target.
Yeah.
Not near good enough.
Yep.
So you only get 9 shots off, something's wrong.
Yeah, for sure. Especially against a team that's not, hasn't been defensively sound all season. So, Jesus, as Beats kind of says here, Jesus and Erdegaard know the playbook better, but that doesn't make them better options. Draw up new plays. I'm with you. And you know what? This leads me to, something I sent. I sent it to one of the groups I was in. In it, and basically it showed and you talked about it earlier. I think it was it? Yes, Dave Gunner talked about it earlier, that the Jesus pass was fantastic. It was perfect, and the post in Twitter basically said, you know what, this is probably the reason why, this is the difference between having a strong-footed player on that side, passing it on the strong side of the pitch, their strong side of the pitch. It looks like that. And when you have Saka in there, he's gonna come back inside on his left foot, and it's a totally different pass that comes in. The Jesus pass, if that's Gyökeres there, Gyökeres should be scoring just like Martinelli was.
So I've always wondered why Jesus was never played more at the right wing position. Yeah. Whether there's a possibility with him.
I think in that game he was playing center forward.
It's amazing how much they switch during a game, though. When you really watch, when you think someone's playing a certain position, they move completely. It's the amount of fluidity in it is pretty impressive. I do think the left foot for Saka, and I do think, I would love to, if your crosses is the game, because sometimes if you really look at it, I go back to the Liverpool game, and not to rehash that, but our fullbacks were more towards the corner of the 18, and our wings were playing such, they were going to be doing the crosses. But if that's the case, then you should switch Saka onto the left side, knowing that that's his strong foot to do those crosses in, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But hey, you know who's back, right? King Kai's back, right?
But the thing is, and this is where the statement comes to play, though, because yes, it works with the players we have, but I always go back to, it wasn't working as well as we wanted, even when it was working perfectly.
Well, there's a ceiling for
We didn't-
Jesus.
No, but and that's why we wanted better. That's why we wanted different.
Yeah.
We didn't want a Kai Havertz. We didn't want a Jesus or better version of him because we weren't going to spend the money because you spent top money on Jesus and Kai Havertz. We couldn't afford a better version of them, so we're not going to do that. But if we can go out there and get something different, which Gyökeres is, and he would actually answer some of the holes, then you do it, and that's what I believe we did. But we don't want to fit our game style into something that fits for him.
Well, again, like that's something that I think later in the season, I think we may see the benefit of having those three options.
No, but I'm just saying there's been not many games where I think there's more games where we could have utilized Gyökeres better, but we didn't because we continued to play him like he's
the Chelsea game. The Chelsea game earlier in the year, if you look at the Chelsea game, if you bring him on about 10 minutes earlier, it's a possibility he gets that goal for you because it's a 10-man team.
Yep.
And of course, Timber got in front of him in the cross, and he was looking pretty good and everything. But
and that's another problem. I don't like the fact that our defenders are taking balls off the head of our striker.
Yeah, I don't like that either. I agree with you on that 100%.
I get it, but I feel like no wonder they can't get anything because there's too many people in the box sometimes.
No, I don't get it, honestly, because
I get why he can't get opportunities. Yeah,
that's Arteta allowing those two to have a free leash,
but not to. He doesn't allow an Eze to make that crazy pass because he might turn it over. I don't get.
No, I don't know if that completely. I don't know if I agree.
No, he was screaming at Eze one time because of all the passes he was making. He was screaming at Rice not to try to go for the goal against Real Madrid. Right? These are things he actually has done. Players have either ignored it or did it anyways and succeeded. Right?
Yeah.
So
it's so weird the differences of freedom of the attackers and the defenders. Because the defenders have got carte blanche, blank check. They can do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
Strikers, attackers, you have to stay in this small little deal. You have to go back and play defense all the time.
Yep.
We're not
he has, like I said, he has a lot of rules.
We're not up a tempo to get your skills in there more. It's just
He's got a lot of rules, and a lot of them center on defending, right? So that's
I mean
that's where he wants to. That's where he wants to win. Yeah.
The defense is gonna
the defense gets the big stake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember like one of the coaches.
They get the classy per diem.
Yeah, it was Urban Meyer was a coach for the Gators, and supposedly he loves special teams. So if you want to get on his good side, you go to special teams, not offense, not defense, special teams. So that's some coaches.
We'll get you a porterhouse
that you don't think are important, but they do.
So what's your expectation for Wednesday? I think I don't know if you want to wrap up the FA Cup and
let me go through the rest of this chat and
we'll
get into that because we are getting close to an end here. It's so no, we are a defensive team first, so we're going to err that way. Arteta's going to win it his way, which is not going to be our way. So we kind of have to deal with it, but I'm still going to complain. So there you go.
I don't like it doing it the stressful way.
Well, it is stressful to me as well, but then if we get the result, cool. But if not, it still suck. It's still a little stressful. But both Gyökeres and Saka heavily favor certain foots, and Saka's always crossing from his weak foot. But I thought he's left-footed. He's left-footed, Saka, and he steps inside to cross with his left. Right? And then when he crosses to his right, it's never really on target unless he's got enough players there, and usually he doesn't. They're not there. So, yeah, I hear that. For me, it's Boyton Dio, considering Arsenal have always been known for great attacking players. Even the Graham era had great attacking players like Alan Smith, Mercer, Rocastle, Righty, Lampard, Super Kev. Very true. But Arteta is not any of them. That's the problem. So I hear what you're saying, but Arteta is not Graham. He's not Wenger.
Yeah, he's Arteta. He's his own individual, and
He's done his own thing. I mean,
right now,
supposedly he's learned from the best manager in this era.
well,
So
we
supposedly,
will find out at the end of the season whether that comes to true. As of right now, he's proving that he's learned, in my mind.
yeah, he's learned something. It might not be what you like for sure.
Yeah, I mean, but again, like that's the reality here, right? I mean, like my NFL team, I'd love for them to do 3 yards in a cloud of dust. They don't do that anymore.
True.
RPOs, baby.
Yeah, I'd like to see. Yeah, I hear that. I'd like to see Saka switch sides the same way that we see Martinelli and Gabriel and Martinelli and Jesus switch roles sometimes. So it'd be nice to see that. I like to
I
see
like
the
to
manager
see him
embrace
in the
all those
middle.
options. Yeah, no, for sure. But you know what? He's resist to change. So, but hopefully as he sees more of the players, he'll change. But it's a slow going. I think, as I said in a post, Arteta seems to be about a year or two behind Pep, right? Like Pep went out there and got a striker with Gyökeres's talents, and there was like a scale that somebody put out, and Haaland is closer to Gyökeres than he is to like the Kai Havertz and the Jesus in terms of the type of striker they are. And Arteta finally got a player, but he's got him all the way skewed to the left. At least Haaland is a little bit closer to the to a, to a, to the norm of the scale. But yeah. I think maybe next year we'll see it based on how things go here. We beat Chelsea, and we'll get into that. Yeah, we'll get into that next. Let me go to this last chat, and we'll move on. But this team doesn't have great attacking players. They don't pass the eye test like that. No, that is true. That's true. I think a lot of people
disagree with that. I think they're just not used properly.
Well, that's what you see. So you can only go by what your eye says. So yes, Saka is a really good attacker, but many people believe if he goes to a different team with like a Pep, he will look much better, right?
Of course they are.
They're saying that there's a ceiling, and we're not anywhere close on it. And like in a Saka, for example, right? Martinelli, he's got a skill set that a lot of people like, but we just don't get to see it as much because it requires a different type of the way we play football. We don't play to his strengths. We don't play to the strengths of some of the players, and that's why they don't excel in my eyes. Or the stats test. That's the part of the crux. Yeah. Pass the eye test first, and we'll talk about stats.
Yeah. Our ceilings is like a lower on being John Malkovich, where it's like 5-foot ceilings.
Yeah.
Everybody's ducking to get through the
True.
office.
So, not one player in the top 20 goal scorers for us in January already, and after last season, it's no coincidence. The problem with all of those stats is we probably have more players in the 3 to 5 goal range than most teams do. So we spread our goals around, and we are one of the top scoring teams, be it own goals, whatever you want to call it. Still one of the top teams. You take away the own goals, we're probably still up there, and we've only gotten better since. Right, we have we scored we scored mostly all our goals in open play in December. Right, so we are getting better at that. So we scored. I guess we could have scored at least 3 open play goals in the last game. So we're getting the opportunities now. We weren't getting them sometimes. So getting a little bit better at that. But let's get into the game on Wednesday. Martinelli's our highest scorer, and he's not even hit double digits yet. Yeah, it doesn't matter, right? It's like we're sitting 6 points ahead, and we don't have all those things. So you can only hope we're going to improve. But we'll get into the Chelsea match.
Hey, so Gary, if I may, so I'm looking at this website right now, and it was on MSN talking about Chelsea's predicted 11. They're going to be without Colwell, Lavia. There's doubts for Cole Palmer, Reece James, and Gusto. Caicedo suspended for the second yellow in their quarterfinal match. I don't know what formation this new manager runs. I guess Mark Cucurella will be back in the lineup. But But yeah, there's some stuff I was looking at. Interesting to see. It's a lot of unknowns from Chelsea with the new manager, right? They had a 5-1 victory on Saturday against Charlton in the FA Cup. So Charlton, a championship side. So
What's weird is Foot Mob says Casado will play, but it says Mudrik and Cucurella are suspended. So I don't know.
well, that's the thing. I thought Casado definitely kicked to that second yellow. I remember in the quarterfinal game. I can't remember who they played, but I think he's out. Again, we'll find out Wednesday. But it's at the Bridge. You get the first game away, right? I'm okay with that. Maybe we can right some wrongs. I think you got to go best 11.
Yeah, you know what? This Foot Mob is not right. I mean, they have us starting a front line of Martinelli, Jesus, and Madueke.
Now you can start Saka.
They just used the same lineup from the last game is what they did. So
I think if you would have had if that thing had said Martinelli, Jesus, and Saka, I might have bought it. But you have to go big. This is massive. And I don't think he's going to take it lightly too. I think you're going to see if you can go on you're going to be going on Wednesday. I know we got the big one Saturday. Again, every game's big, right? So forecasting. But looking at who played Sunday versus who didn't play. Yeah, so you got to go big, man.
No, it should be our strongest 11, which is the one we played against Liverpool.
First chance to get silverware this year, you got to go big.
So yeah, right, Tony. What do you think? Go with the same lineup from the Liverpool match.
Yeah.
My only concern is Skelly as a left back.
I'm not concerned about it.
He's not been good. He's been getting beat a little too easy sometimes.
Well, I'm going to call it Arteta on this one, and I don't want to start a whole Arteta, this manager, that. But when Skelly last Thursday was having a little bit of a hard time, change the role of that position. My point being is keep him as a traditional fullback, right? We're going to do upwards and downs, not this kind of shit, right? Not none of the inversion stuff. Just to make things simple for him. Tough opponent. Make sure you're monitoring Frimpong, not potentially getting caught out of sorts. I think on that side, I think Neto would be who would be going against, if I'm not mistaken. I think Neto plays right wing for them.
No, it would be Esteva.
Okay, so I'm wrong again. I'm not a Chelsea fan, so God knows yeah. But
I mean, if it was Neto, I don't think Arteta would have started him. He would have figured out a way to maybe do something different. Maybe Ben White would start, and then you bring Tim.
Well, that's another. Hey, listen, that is another really good point right here. Ben White on the right, Timber on the left.
Yeah.
That still can be done.
Yeah. So we'll see. But like I said, I think we go as strong as we can. I don't think Jay, like you said, Gyökeres rested, Rice rested, Saka rested. Right, Zubimendi rested.
Yeah.
Right, Saliba rested, Timber rested. I mean,
who were the subs from Sunday?
Trossard rested essentially.
Odegaard came on.
Yeah, but most of the players, like Odegaard, I think is got a lot more. Should have a lot more legs in him because he's been out for a while.
Yeah.
But Rice and Zubimendi definitely needed it. Timber definitely needed it. Saliba, it's probably just a rotation thing. Maybe the next time Saliba will play and Gabriel will rest. But Saka didn't play. Gyökeres and Trossard, I don't think either one, any of those three came in. I don't think. And if they did, it was for short minutes, anyways.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about that. So I think we're rested at least for this game. So we should be good to go.
I'm excited.
Rice is going to be 100%, right? He should hopefully be recharged and ready to go. So we should get the best out of him, which is going to be really good. If they're not going to have Casado, that's going to hurt them a little bit.
I don't know. For some reason, I got this irrational kid excitement for the Wednesday's game. I don't know why. and it might probably be the Broncos game on Saturday that got me a little more excited than anything else. So I'm kind of just like, it's a big week, right? Just in general. So, man, I just feel like there's so many wrongs that need to be righted from that first league game.
Yeah.
And you if you could really send a statement if you can have a big result at their place.
Yep. You got to go big, and gotta be nice to be able to go back to the Emirates with a big lead.
At least a goal cushion. A goal cushion's fine. Yeah. I mean, to me, if you can get it, if you get a 2-1 win tomorrow, or even a 1-0 win, I take that.
Yeah, and I think Chelsea, like, even if they got a draw, would be feeling. I don't think they would feel like they would be able to run away with it.
Well, the crazy thing about the Carabao Cup, right, is you've got the first leg of the semifinal Wednesday, the 14th, right, and then I believe the follow up is like 2 weeks from now.
Yeah,
right, February 2nd.
It's a big
break. So a lot can change in 2 weeks, right? Mm-hmm. That's the crazy thing about these 2-leg affairs. Like, a lot can change. I mean, transfer window's open. So if Chelsea was to bring anybody strong this window, I think you got to get at them now before they bring that person in.
It's almost 3 weeks. Yeah. So it's almost 3 weeks. But I mean, who are they going to bring in that's really going to concern us?
We don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
And where? Like, who are they bringing in and where? Like,
well, it's a cup game, right? Like, if you think about it from this perspective,
we're not resting our players, so we're bringing
no. I don't mean that by that.
They have to bring players that can compete with our best.
I mean, they could bring someone that could get at you. I mean, I don't know, a defender, maybe even they could bring in another forward. They'd love to do that. I don't know. It's a cup game, man. That's why I think tomorrow is so critical to make that February 2nd game not as important for them to be able to dig back at. And
for sure.
Yeah, that's more of my point there. Because the Chelsea you see tomorrow absolutely different than the Chelsea you might see in 2 weeks.
Yeah. I don't think it matters. I don't think that squad is going to change that significant in this window. So I don't think that's going to be the case.
Very possible, but they
would have to get better at their center backs. That's not going to happen unless Gahey were to go there. I mean, I don't know who else would help them better than what they've got.
No, the only difference, they might be losing the manager bounce at that point. But as far as the players,
in February, you mean, right? Yeah. I mean, if we do a good job on Wednesday, we could just squash that. They did. Maybe they had that bump already with the win that they just had. So, out of curiosity, says Seymour Butts, which NFL team do you support? Tony?
New England Patriots.
And Spencer, just show your shirt. Show your shirt.
I mean, it's Denver Broncos. Yeah.
I know I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'm not enjoying football for a very long time. Probably as much as Arsenal sucked.
It is what it is.
Cowboys have sucked, right? It's 20 plus years without
way longer than that.
Without a significant playoff win, much less a Super Bowl. But
that's another guy.
But I have
Tony Romo.
I've seen 3 Super Bowls, so you know what? Suck it.
I've seen 3 too.
No.
Are you with me and hate Tony Romo as an announcer?
Tony Romo's a Cowboys legend, man. That was a Cowboys legend.
No, I don't like. I don't. You know what? No.
He's a terrible.
You know what? He's had too many of those moments. You know, when they talk about the moments players, he's the only guy that can throw a pick off somebody's off a player's foot, return for a pick 6. I saw him do that.
He's a great guy, man.
He's the only player that can set us up for the tying extra point, so you can at least go into overtime and fumble the snap.
Tony Romo's a class guy, man. Class guy.
You know what? He made us. No, I didn't.
He's an amazing athlete, a great golfer.
Trying to get me in trouble.
Do you know what he said yesterday? I was working out, right? He says the Bills and the Jags, man, one of these teams could end up in the Super Bowl. And I'm like, wow, Tony, it's going out on a limb there, buddy. Like, yeah, that's the point of this. Oh man, he's so good. And we could get him Saturday. I know he's going to be on the call Saturday. He's going to be just waxing Josh Allen up. Actually, did you guys see this? And I know we're getting away from our topic here, but I believe it's Peacock is going to offer an option where you can turn the commentators off and just hear the crowd noise. Did you hear about that? I'll have to find the article and send it to the group, but I was like, sign me up.
Well,
It's weird.
no,
It's weird because I kind of want to hear what they have to say. Even if I don't
man.
like some of them.
There's nothing like just hearing, like Saturday.
Well,
I mean, it's almost like you're at the game, right? Because you don't hear the commentary when you're at the game. So
I mean, I like Jim Nantz. I like Nantz, but I don't like Romo as much.
Yeah.
Romo's really good at telling the play that's about to happen, which I think is where he's good. But where he's bad is some of his cool. He's like Darrell Waltrip on NASCAR. Remember telling you when Darrell Waltrip was on there? Just what are you saying, man? So, but carry on. So sorry.
Yeah, no, whatever. Yeah, he didn't help me win a Super Bowl, so yuck.
I mean,
we owe them a whooping. Yes, we do. We owe a lot of people a whooping. I thought we were gonna reply that again in the Liverpool match. We didn't. We needed, like you said, we need to do it this time. We did it to Villa. I think Chelsea getting the draw against us, that should have been a slap in the face. We definitely should have done better than the draw for sure.
Yeah.
Even going down in that game first, yuck. Got BBK Sports in the house. Welcome to Tehran. He's saying good evening to the three wise men. Thank you for joining.
Never been called wise, but good evening.
There you go. We've got BX got 3-0 to the Arsenal against
I think he was calling you a wise ass, Spencer. Not a wise man.
Okay. Well,
it's in the fine print. Is that what you're trying to say? There's fine print there.
Yeah.
Anybody think a 3-0 on Wednesday?
I want to say it.
You should, but
When's the last time we really beat them bad at their place? I think we did 3-1 during the Amazon documentary year.
No, that's too long ago. So,
yeah.
Which
again, my buddy will still not watch because of how it ends, but whatever.
Yeah,
well, we don't do the best plan there.
Yes, yeah. No, I would take the 3-0, but the way we've just been playing, at least the way we've been playing and the way I think we've been setting ourselves up. I just don't feel like Arteta will have us set up to get a 3-0 win. Like
Gary wants a 2-1 heart
what
attack.
I've seen all this season, I want, like, we should be able to score. We can score 3 goals on anybody, right? So, but sometimes I just feel like Arteta errs on the side of caution, and then
I blame the players more than I do him. But we're not going to agree on that one. I think the players just have to put their dinner away. I mean, it depends who the lineup is.
You say that, but when did we have that many opportunities against Liverpool to score? We didn't, because we turned the ball over. We were the way we were playing didn't even give us an opportunity to take advantage of when they made mistakes.
But I'd say you did have a chance at the end of the game for Gabriel to put that header in if he puts it on target, which would have been the most undeserved
but
3 points ever.
But Jesus defended him well.
What?
You remember that, right? At the end of the game?
Oh, yeah.
Gabriel would have got a clean header, but he got defended by his own man.
Yeah. Well, again, that would have been the most undeserving 3 points we've ever earned.
Yeah, but Gabriel, you know what? That's what Jesus was defending it for Liverpool, just to make sure.
Again, I look at the players. I'm like, you got to take control. You got to put it away. I need to start.
He didn't expect his own teammate to take him out. Come on.
No, he didn't. I mean, again.
What was your live reaction to that, Gary?
Well, when I didn't even notice it until somebody, I saw like the replay.
I went and worked out. That's my live reaction
on it. And I was like, oh wow, because it looked like we just missed it, but then you go back and you look at that, you're like, he got taken out by his own guy. Oh my god! And you can see Gabriel kind of looking back at like Jesus, who I assume he knew what he did because he kind of walked away. Gabriel's probably like, who took this ball off? And
yeah, I mean,
did he just mouth something at him without saying it in Portuguese.
Yeah, I don't know. He must have said something. Gabriel, Jesus wasn't.
I will,
I didn't hear it. Alonzo, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the show. The reason why I was curious of NFL team support is how the standards of your NFL team contrast to the standards for Arsenal.
Oh, that's a good question. So again, I've probably been longer suffering than you have as far as failures, Gary. Well, maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, obviously not now, but
hold on. We went 2015 won the championship, 2016 went 9-7. Didn't have a winning season until last year. Sat through, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think about some of my feelings about Vance Joseph, Vic Fangio, how I felt with Kubiak. Like, see, but with the Broncos, though, for my team, like, we've been pretty consistent with head coaches, except I'd say the last 10 years. So, like, Shanahan was there from, like, 95 to about 08. Then you had Josh McDaniels. That was a fucking dumpster fire. And then I want to say John Fox. Then you had Coobs come in. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess when people like the standards, like, it's a little different in the NFL because it's a playoff, right?
Yeah. When I lived in Denver, I got to meet.
I mean,
Shanahan and Spurrier because of course Shanahan, worked with Spurrier. So I got.
So he says, "Would you accept New England not winning a Super Bowl until 2038 and Denver not winning a Super Bowl until 2035?" I mean, there's nothing I can do to control about it. Like, so again, like when you win a championship, this is like I give you a prime example. I don't know if you watched it. So when I say this, Bills Jaguars Sunday, right? It was 7-3. I want to say second quarter, Jags had to go for 4th and 2. They didn't get it, right? And then the Bills go down and score that touchdown. All right, they should have kicked a field goal. The difference was what? 3 points.
Yeah.
Right. So that 3 points would have been 10-3. Vice going to, God knows what the Bills would have done. So the margins are so slim. I mean, the Packers on Saturday night, 21-3 in the fourth quarter, blew the lead, lost it. What was it? I can't remember, 31-27. There's so like someone gets injured. I mean, George Kittle yesterday blew his Achilles out, right?
Yeah.
You just can't. It's so hard to have everything just fall in place. I mean, the Eagles won the Super Bowl last year, and then last night AJ Brown couldn't catch a pass.
Yeah.
So like it's easy to sit there and say, hey, would you be upset about it? But things have to just line up. And the NFL is such a violent game. Like,
yeah.
I mean, little Josh Allen, he slammed his finger, I think, on someone's helmet yesterday too. Matthew Stafford did it on Saturday night. So like the margins and just it's so hard to compare the two. The standards are there.
Yeah.
I mean, Tony's been more spoiled than anybody else we know as far as Super Bowls or whatever. But
yeah, no, I guess what I'll say is, as far as accepting not winning, I'll tell you this much. The one thing that I'll say, comparing, if I'm going to compare the Cowboys to Arsenal right now, is for me, like I've always said, the Cowboys probably should go young with a new manager or new coach, get one of the newer coaches and try that out, as opposed to what they've been doing, which is going for old school coaches over and over again, and it just doesn't work. The football's different now. You need to do something different with the type of football, the type of players, the mentality, all of that's different now. You should go and get a manager, a coach that can actually do that. I mean, that's where Arteta maybe comes in, and he's kind of looking at things. He's got all his players liking him and wanting to play for him. Whether you like the style or not, he's got that going for him. The one thing I'll say that I haven't seen with the Cowboys is I haven't seen improvement year on year. The one thing I can say about Arsenal is I've seen improvement year on year. I mean, so for me to if you're gonna compare the two, I've seen the Cowboys win 3 and 4 years, right, with one of the best managers, one of the best coaches in his era, right, college to pros, right. He's done it in both, right. Jimmy Johnson. So I've seen that, but now they need to go new school with what they have, right? Instead of going old school.
Come on, Gary! Don't leave Barry out in the cold water.
No, Barry didn't. No.
Well,
Barry had nothing to do with that third Super Bowl in that 4-year span. He had nothing to do with it. All he did was whatever Jimmy said to do last year, do it again.
Yeah,
But
let's try. That's
but
like you
let me let
saying
me
about
let me
Herschel
finish. Let me
Walker.
finish. Let me finish.
Herschel
But
Walker trade had nothing to do with it. Come
it
on,
doesn't
Gary.
matter how you get there, does it? It doesn't matter how you get there. Somebody wants to give you a lifeline, you take it.
I
Uh,
mean, Barry still
no,
had to coach it, but to be fair, Jimmy put it together.
there's
That's a
nothing
fact.
that Barry did that any other coach couldn't have done. All right, so nobody can tell me any different.
That's fine.
The team was set. There was nothing really you had to do. They had just won 2 out of the last 3 years. They were fine, They were fine. Um, no, but, like, for me, that's why I can look at Arsenal differently is because, like I said, I see improvement year on year. Everybody else doesn't see it because they want a trophy to be at the end of this. But no, no, and I like to say this over and over again, no manager is going to win the trophies you're talking about in their first 6 years on the job unless their name is Pep and they have
Yeah.
Messi on their squad, right? Those are some of the variables that you have to have.
Well,
It doesn't happen everywhere. So, like, Arteta has only shown, like I said, improvement year on year. We are as close as we're going to get. If he doesn't get it this year, I think serious discussions have to be made.
Yep.
But that's how I can look at it different, and if there's standards or whatever, I think you create your it's an easy for me. It's an easy question as to whether he stays or not. It depends on how he does this year. He's done a lot to get us here, but I think at some point we have to cross the line. This has to be the year for him to do it. He can't there's not much he can do different to change this thing. You know what I mean?
well,
And
it's a,
all the parameters that cause him not to get it in the last in a couple of years past, right?
yeah,
They've answered a lot of that.
yeah. He's been
You
given
know,
all the tools this year to make it
so
happen. But
so
again, and I'm going to correlate this to the Broncos. So 2022, old ownership. I think Hackett was the coach. That ended drastically. They fired him after 12 games. I was ready for him to go after about week 7. It wasn't even here a year. I was ready for him to go. Hackett was a disaster. We also had Russell Wilson. So the Broncos were bought by the Walton Penner ownership group. That's the Walmart people. So they bought it. They fired. I can't remember. I don't remember who made the call to fire Hackett. I actually. Yeah, they've signed off on the Russell Wilson and the Hackett because that was signed by the previous administration, and they were like, okay. But they fired him. Jerry Rossberg took it over, brought in Sean Payton, did a year with Russ, ate the dead. I guess the other point, there's another factor here, good ownership. My team has one of the best ownerships in the NFL, period. I'll argue with anybody on it.
and mine has the best if you're trying to make money. If you want to make money,
yeah,
Cowboys. If you want to win
Yeah.
trophies, not Cowboys. He's done everything since Jimmy Johnson's won him the Super Bowls. He's tried to do it all by himself.
Yeah.
He can't do it. And it's
the other thing in the NFL, you got to have a quarterback. Like that's the most important position.
Yeah.
And then you have to have a great offensive line and a great defensive line, and everything else can fall into place. But they're a little bit two different sports. But I don't think no one's ever satisfied. But I don't think you just don't fire a head coach in the middle of the year and expect it to just fix itself that year. That doesn't happen. It never does.
Everybody has to remember this is sports entertainment. A lot of other things to like.
Lots of gambling. Lots of over-unders hitting, right? Miraculously.
I hate these leagues being sponsored by FanDuel and shit like that.
I mean, you bring up the Eagles. You bring up the Eagles, Seymour Butts, but the gap between, like championships. It's large for them until the last 7 years, last 8 years, right?
Yeah.
So they've only been good as of late, but after that there's a big gap there between the championships that they won prior to the Super Bowl happening, right? So
and they definitely should have
57 years between their championships, right? So it's relative. You're talking about now, but they haven't been that good for as long as you think. So. Cowboys,
they were a very good team, but management wouldn't do the things to get them past the line.
Yeah.
Same coach goes to Kansas City, and look what he does there, Gary.
Yeah. Oh, whatever. It's not. It's true. You didn't win anything for 57 years. So
I
you
won an
just
NFL championship in 1960, Gary.
no 57 years between
Okay.
their championships is what I said. 57. All right. So they had a Cowboys are only on 30 right now. So so be it. But they won 3 before
Hard to
that.
win,
So
man. If winning was easy, everyone would do it.
yeah,
It's just
yeah,
not.
yeah,
That's why, like, again, like when I look at Arsenal, like things have to fall right at the same
yeah,
time.
yeah.
They just do.
The
Like,
draft doesn't make it. The draft isn't why it's better.
no,
teams with the best draft positions aren't the ones winning it. It'd be nice if that were true, but it's not. If you have better coaching, you can take a play in the middle rounds and get
I,
the most out of them. If you could take the one of the worst quarterbacks
I,
in the 6th round
I,
and win Super Bowls with him,
I,
like so it's
I
the draft
asked
doesn't
Cleveland.
really give it's still a lottery. You know,
I
because you
asked
get a number
Cleveland.
1 quarterback doesn't mean you win it. That has
I
been
asked
proven time
Cleveland
and
what they
time
did with
again.
all their number 1 picks.
Yeah,
I asked
yeah.
Cleveland.
So the draft doesn't help as much as you think, but coaching does. Coaching overcomes everything. And then when you win one time, guess what? The draft doesn't help you anymore. And then it comes down to coaching, right?
shit. The draft still helps you if you're good
No.
because you can
But
find good players in the
no,
27th pick.
that's what I'm saying. The draft is supposed to help those that in need, meaning those that just didn't make it to the playoffs, but it doesn't. Just because you get what is the best player coming out of college doesn't mean they're going to be the best player in the NFL.
It's true. Very, very, absolutely true.
So,
Yeah.
that's what I mean by the draft doesn't help as much. I think coaching overcomes all of that.
Coaching, good ownership.
Yeah. Like if you look at the New
Spending
England
money in the
Patriots,
proper
look at New
places,
England
too.
Patriots, they had the best quarterback and the best wide receiver
It's
in
true.
in that era, and they didn't win. All right, Hall of Fame quarterback throwing the Hall of Fame wide receiver, no Super Bowl.
Think about
Then
some of those 1980s AFC
they had
teams.
they had some scrubs essentially, and they won all their Super Bowls. You know what I mean? It's all about coaching. It doesn't matter that sometimes it's not the talent. So, all right, we're gonna get out of here soon because we've hit the 100-minute mark. But it's an easier prospect for elite outfits getting. You have to draft, but in football, you can just go out and buy the best player now, right? Right.
Yep.
So it's a little, you don't have to draft, but you can just go get the best player. So it's a lot easier in football as it is in American football. So we have old school championship. Yeah, you do. I just said it. 57 years between them. Dallas is only 30. So give me a break on this. Dallas waiting for a Super Bowl in 30 years. You had to wait. Some of your fans had to wait 57 years.
But Gary, technically, if we're talking about current times,
Yeah.
so all right. So he's only gone 1 year between championships. It's still fresh.
No, I know. That's why it hurts. It stings more. It's good for them, but I have seen my team win 3. So
I mean, cell
not like I
phones
haven't-
weren't
it's like-
regularly available when you guys won a Super Bowl, right? DVDs weren't
I
a
don't
thing.
care, but my team won it. Right? Does it matter when they won it? It does. So it matters now when they won it.
I mean, I don't
Right?
mean to dig on
You know
that.
what? It matters that Arsenal won 13 championships, right? In English football.
I'm just saying
Or
you're
it
taking
doesn't because
shots
they
at the
haven't done
Eagles
it
and living in a glass
in
house
the last
yourself.
20
It doesn't
years. So,
really,
so
Spencer was just going about
Yeah.
how culture has changed.
yeah, no, I get it. I get it. Yeah.
He wasn't going into how the game has changed and all.
Yeah.
Well, the game has
for
changed to an
sure.
extent.
I hear you,
Yeah,
boy.
but-
No, but I'm saying that
you
that's
put the
not
comment
where
up
you're
there. I'm
going
going to
there.
talk about it. I can't read your mind, but I can only go by what you said. So, yeah, I hear you. Eagles were not just good enough when it mattered. That's why some teams don't win. Arsenal wasn't good enough when it mattered, and that's why they didn't win in 2022, 23, right? So, yeah.
31
Yeah.
out of 32 teams ends in failure.
I don't know about tolerable. I don't think it's tolerable losing because the draft
Tolerable?
exists. Tolerable, yeah.
No one tolerates it. We just,
Uh.
I think our answers to the losing are different. So the cultures are different. The European model feels like fire the manager, it'll get fixed by the next guy. Whereas some Americans do adopt that 100%. I know people that think fire the head coach, it'll work. But like yesterday, like let's be fair, any of these teams that messed up yesterday, nobody's probably getting fired. You could have made an argument for Matt LaFleur of the Packers. I probably would have fired him strictly because your game management is shit.
But who did he learn that from?
He learned that. He was in that 28-3.
Exactly.
Yeah, so,
Look where he learned that from. I was saying it to somebody. I was like, when it was 21-3, I figured Green Bay won it. And then I'm like, I remember that Super Bowl.
You know what's funny?
31-3 or something, 28-3 or something like that.
Yeah.
And he watched that happen, and he didn't learn.
I'll leave you with this because I really do believe this after thinking this today. I was listening to D-Mac. He was talking about it was on Altitude. He was talking about, the Broncos and the Packers and, how they blew it. And he said, listen, I can deal with my team losing. It happens. Sometimes the other team's better, but I can't deal with you losing because you mismanaged something. And that's actually a really good point. You can get outbeat. Like, let's be fair. And no one wants to hear this, and I don't want to do the Arteta in, Arteta out stuff, but if City was to beat us because, they just were better, you can live with that. But if Arsenal pisses this down the drain because by stuff they do, you can't live with that.
Yeah. Like right now, there's there's really no excuses as to how we cannot not finish the season off. We have all the answers to the questions on the test.
Yep,
we have all of them. If you need to score goals, we got answers. If you need to defend better, you got answers.
Yep.
There's nothing we don't have right now. Could we get better? Yes, we could, but we have everything we've ever needed right now. So we'll see how that plays out. You can lose for half a century and never face. That is the other part to American sports. There's no such thing as relegation. Yeah. That's why that whole Super League thing, was there so they could make more money, not necessarily so they could play the best teams against the best teams.
No, and that's the reality about the Europeans as well, too. Spurs and Arsenal are 4 miles away from each other, whereas the Commanders and the Cowboys are thousands of miles from each other. It's just two different. It's a different world, just because of the size of the country too.
True.
But you get ones like the AFC North, NFC North, where
some teams are nearby, right? Some teams are nearby. I mean,
they're the exceptions.
Dallas is the only one in there that doesn't make any sense why they're in the East.
Very true.
Detroit's in the NHL East as well, but they used to be in the West.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it made for a competitive division. Division when it was competitive, but not so much now. But we're gonna get out of here. Hopefully, we've talked about everything you guys wanted to talk about in the chat. I believe everybody in the panel got to talk about whatever they wanted to talk about. But we're gonna get out of here. Actually, I have somewhere to be. I'm already late, but I enjoyed talking, so we will chat. Spencer.
Enjoy your week, guys. That's all I'm going to say. Enjoy your week.
All right. Tony.
Gunther tapped like a little bitch, but the referee didn't see it because he was tapping on the other side of AJ Styles' thigh.
Okay. I don't know what you said.
When Gunther made John Cena tap, he keeps saying he tapped out like a little bitch.
I didn't see that. So I had no clue what you were talking about.
And today, he tapped out on AJ Styles' thigh, but that was for the referee couldn't see it. AJ Styles stopped and was talking to the timekeeper and all that. And Gunther comes and wins.
Oh,
he tapped out.
did not see that, but yeah, that's
Nope.
but it's wrestling. It's not. It's all. It's scripted, right? Or is it?
You said
Or
rigged.
is it real? I don't know which one it
It's
is.
still all sports entertainment one.
It's sports entertainment. It's not saying sports entertainment is like football is, right?
It's all sports entertainment.
I don't. I think it's a little bit more theatrical. There's a lot more scripts in there. Yes, they have plays in other sports, but they don't necessarily dictate what happens by the other team. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
there's always the ab web stuff, like
sure.
right at the last
Nah, you can't
minute.
do it.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
When Liv Morgan
All right,
John Cena,
let's get out of here. Let's
kicked
get out
John
of here.
Cena in the dick. That's
gonna
what
get
she
out
was
of here,
told
Tony.
to do at the last minute.
Everybody, thank you for joining us. It's been great. We'll do this again next.
Take care, everybody.
Arsenal
We'll
would have
end the
played. I
show
think
on
by the
dick
time
pic.
when we come back, Arsenal would have played Chelsea and they would have played Forest, and hopefully that will finish. That will be the two middle parts of our away leg. Hopefully there's 2 wins. That'd be really good to come back and talk about those. Could be another moving day on the weekend. City plays Manchester United, which some people thought might have been a challenge, but probably won't be a challenge anymore. So, we shall see. But we'll be back on Monday, chat about the next 2 games, Chelsea and Forest on the road, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for joining. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, and all of that, and we'll see you in a week.
Life is a journey. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the ride. There you go.